What is going on, everybody? I am your host, Slackers, bringing you our next matchup in the Ultimate Smash Bros. DLC Tournament. So, if you're new and you're wondering what this is, allow me to explain. There's a few rules involved, and if you want to participate, you're more than welcome to. It's very easy to participate. So, basically, this is a tournament of 72 characters. A lot less now, because we're pretty far into the tournament. But basically, each day on my channel that I can, as long as there's a matchup, I will upload one matchup from the tournament, and then we kind of just vote for who we would rather see as a DLC character down in the comments. Now, keep in mind, this is just for fun. All right, don't take it too seriously. You could vote for whoever you want. Whoever's in the matchup, that's who you would vote for. So today's matchup. I'll show you. I'm just going to show you the results. You guys already know by the the thumbnail. Kind of spoiling the results from the last couple days, but have to get to it. I got a quick story about both the matchups in case anybody cares. But basically, how the voting would work: you would either vote for Sora or Spyro or both, but you only get one vote per person. That's the rules. It's always been that way. So again, one vote per person, but you either vote Sora, Spyro, or both. Those are your options. So yeah, very simple actually. The whole thing's simple. But the rest of the rules, it's a double elimination tournament, meaning a character has to lose 2 times before being officially eliminated. If there's ever a tie in the voting, I will flip a coin on camera. It's just the best and fairest way to break the tie. And then each matchup, voting-wise, only lasts for 1 week, so I cut the voting off, 1 week mark. So today's, Saturday, which means as long as there's a matchup, well, either way, I'll cut the voting off next Saturday. That's just how it goes. That way, the tournament just keeps rolling, we keep getting new matches, and yeah, so on and so forth. So, and probably the most important rule again, remember, this is just for fun. Don't take it too seriously. People vote for a character you don't like. You don't need to go attack anybody. Just have a civil conversation. We could be humans about this, all right? We could be civil humans about this, right? Yeah, we can. I know we can. So, yeah, we're to show the results. We got results from the last 2 days because we didn't have a matchup yesterday, so I had a different video yesterday. But today, here's the result. So Sora and Leon. Sora obviously ended up winning that one, 50 votes to 34. So congrats to Sora. Leon, that does mean Leon is now officially eliminated because we are in the loser bracket. So Leon still did pretty far, went pretty far in the tournament, so that's pretty good. Eventually I'll show results and placements for everybody, but that'll come a little bit later down the road. And then probably one of the more lopsided matches, Spyro won 56 votes to only 14. So a couple things that I did see. One person said that it kind of put it in a good way, honestly. Sceptile's time is kind of past in a way, just because like Pokemon keep getting new generations, Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby, or is it Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, whatever the games are called. Those are kind of, they're gone. They've already been released. Gen 3's already had its time to shine again, and that's already passed. So Gen 3 doesn't look like it's anywhere on Nintendo's mind. So anyway, Sceptile Fancy did pretty well in the tournament, so you got that to hang your hat on. But anyway, we got a great matchup today. Sora taking on Spyro. So let's do this. Who's up first? Sora? Yeah. Sora. Kingdom Hearts. Square / Disney rep. Alright, so let's get the obvious stuff out of the way because it gets brought up in the comments all the time. Square already has a rep in Smash Bros. With Dragon Quest. A lot of people feel that that any company but a lot of people feel a company will not get 2 reps in this first fighter pass that we have. So does that kind of initially rule Sora out? I mean, maybe. That is a fan rule. I kind of believe it. I think it just kind of makes sense business-wise for Nintendo, but Nintendo has never came out and said that's a rule. So still, anybody's legitimately, they're still on the table. It doesn't matter if you're from a company that's already been repped. You could still get a second rep potentially. We never know. You never know. But Sora, Kingdom Hearts, you also have to go back to the tweet that the person from Kingdom Hearts kind of sent out, not sent out, but somebody asked him on Twitter Well, what about Sora in Smash Bros? And he simply replied yes, and everyone was like, oh my god, that confirms Sora. That was quite a while ago, actually, wasn't it? That was not quite a year ago, but that was several months ago. But I think it's just a kind of a misinterpretation of it. I think the person on Twitter, I think he was initially thinking somebody was saying, hey, would you like to see Sora in Smash? And maybe he was just kind of replying, yes, I would. Maybe, I don't know. It could have been a strange little mix-up. That's what it could have been. But maybe he could have been leaking Sora was in Smash Bros. Because by the time, this leak came out, Nintendo was in the process of coming up with the DLC characters for their Fighter Pass. Pretty much they were winding down on the game. Smash Ultimate, the base game was practically wrapping up development, which was good. So Nintendo started shifting a little bit of focus towards DLC, just the planning stages, not necessarily the developing stages of DLC. But planning, you always got to plan ahead, right? So that's probably what Nintendo is doing. So you never know if Nintendo... Hey, they knew Kingdom Hearts was coming out in 2019, the early part of 2019, so a chance to capitalize on Kingdom Hearts releasing around the world in early 2019 to maybe coincide with a release of Sora for Smash Bros. Around the same time frame might have made a lot of sense, generate a lot of hype and buzz and sort of stuff. But then again, Kingdom Hearts... Kingdom Hearts 3 is not on the Switch, is it? I don't remember ever hear it. Maybe it gets ported one day, and maybe that's what they're waiting for. I don't know. That could be a little interesting thing. I mean, imagine that during a Nintendo Direct where it just kind of pops out, yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming to Nintendo Switch. Oh, by the way, we have one more announcement for you, and then everyone would go absolutely ape yeah, you know what I mean. It would be a big announcement. Sora's a huge character in gaming. It's such a huge following. Always one of those fantasy pipe dream characters that anybody talks about. It'd kind of be another little bit of a sword wielder, but Sora's got a lot of... look, you talk about sword users and everyone thinks sword users are kind of like copy-paste. They're really not, honestly. Come on, they're not copy-paste. You can do so many different things with swords that, other sword users don't do, but... it's not just about the moveset. The character itself would be huge for Nintendo, whether they're saving maybe what they view as the biggest and best reveal for last, which could be Sora, could be. If they did something like that, right, that would really get a lot of people talking, and then, even people that haven't bought the entire Fighter Pass, they might be waiting for that, and they see the entire Fighter Pass and go, alright, I'm sold on the Fighter Pass now, I know all 5 characters, because there are people that will wait. They do not want to buy something without knowing what they're getting, and I completely understand that, right? I'm not going to just go hand somebody money. Usually, I'm not going to hand somebody money when they just say, yeah, we're going to be doing something in the future, but give me money right now. Usually, I'm not doing that, but I'm such a fan of Smash Bros. That I just bought the Fighter Pass immediately when it came out, once we had the chance to, because I knew, regardless of the characters, I was going to have fun with it anyway, and I just play the game all the time, so for me, that was fine. But, Sora could have a pretty decent chance still, but maybe it's still kind of an iffy character. Weird little spot, but you never know. But let's talk about Sora's opponent as well, Spyro the Dragon. Spyro. How does Spyro stack up? Now, Spyro, the original Spyro in this case, has had a sort of the same path as Crash, a little bit of a resurgence. I can't even say Spyro has had a resurgence because he's always been around with the... started with the original Spyros, and then he kind of did his own Skylanders thing, which was absolutely huge. And now the old Spyro games are getting remade, which, by the way, the Reignited trilogy is coming out on the Nintendo Switch in early September. I don't remember the date off the top of my head, but coming out on the Switch in September. So, potentially, now think of it like this. If we don't have, what's the date today? 8/17, or I guess technically 8/18, whatever you want to, no, it's 8/17, whatever. We still haven't heard any news of a potential Nintendo Direct, from Nintendo themselves. We haven't heard anything like that. Usually, Nintendo Directs are every, 2 to 3 months or so, and since we just had a Nintendo Direct, at E3, that was June, so nothing really, no Nintendo Direct in July. Haven't had any word for August, so speculation, we could start thinking potentially we'll get something in September, and maybe that's where they maybe kind of tie in Spyro. So what I mean by that is, I think it's September 3rd. I could be wrong. I think it's September 3rd. That's when the Reignited trilogy comes out. But anyway, back to the point. Nintendo, they could have their Direct in September, correct? And of course they could mention Spyro, the Reignited trilogy, now on the Switch. You can purchase it now, blah, 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 all that sort of stuff. And then maybe at the end, Spyro gets to be revealed as the next character for Fighter Pass, Fighter Pack 4. Maybe that's what happens. They kind of focus a little bit more on the next character. And they've done that with Fighter in the past. They really did that with Dragon Quest. They really focused a lot on Dragon Quest stuff back in, the February Direct at the beginning of this year. They really had quite a bit of amount of time focused on the Dragon Quest franchise, and if you could read between the lines, it was kind of like, alright, something big's gonna happen. Boom, the hero gets put into Smash Bros, so maybe they could kind of have the same thing with a Nintendo Direct, really focus on the Spyro Reignited trilogy and that sort of stuff. So, but anyway, Nintendo Activision, they've worked together before, obviously. If they had never worked together, we wouldn't be getting the Reignited trilogy. We wouldn't have the Crash games on here. We wouldn't have those Bowser, Donkey Kong, Skylander figures from a number of years ago. That would never have happened. So, the whole Toys to Life thing is kind of Activision's doing, and Nintendo did their own thing, which was awesome. So, hey, we got a Bowser and Donkey Kong, the Skylander. Maybe we end up getting a Spyro amiibo. I mean, wouldn't that be kind of a nice little trade-off right there? I think that'd be pretty sick, actually. Because if you don't know, I'm very big into amiibos. I have all the Smash ones currently available. So, yeah, having a Spyro amiibo, having a Sora amiibo, any of these would be fantastic. Just really cool. Just something awesome to add to a collection. So, both these characters, I feel, can honestly just fit right into the Smash roster. They don't really feel out of place. They just kind of like, yep, they work. And they're big enough names where they will generate so much buzz for Nintendo. It just helps them out sales-wise for DLC, so could happen. Plus, Activision, they don't have a rep in Smash Bros. At all, let alone the Fighter Pass, so maybe Spyro happens. Maybe Crash could happen for Activision. So the way I'm voting, it's going to come down to this. If it was for Activision, I've said this numerous times as well, I would rather have Crash than I would Spyro if Activision were to get a rep. And I really, really do enjoy the thought of having Sora in Smash Bros. So Sora's going to get my vote because I guess I just want the character more than I do Spyro. Very simple. That's how you got to vote. So that's going to be it for this one. So I hope you guys enjoyed. So a little sneak peek for Monday. I think we're back in the winner's bracket, I believe. Game 125, correct? Are we back in the winner's bracket? Game 125. Okay, so it looks like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Where's 129? Hold up. I'm just trying to get a glimpse of stuff here. Well, that'll be interesting. All right, but either way, at least Monday through Thursday next week, guaranteed matchups. But Monday, Scorpion's really gonna need some help because he's facing off against Shantae. So that should be a very interesting sort of clash of matchups right there. We'll see what happens. Does Shantae continue her rampage and just bulldozing through the competition? Or does Scorpion become the first character to actually give her a loss in these tournaments? We'll find out, but that is going to be it for this one. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Remember, 1 vote per person. This is just for fun. Okay? Just for fun. But that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully we catch you on the next one. Peace out, everybody.